Flowing in from the Windy City, it's time for JW Fusion with your hosts, James and Wendy B.
Welcome to this week's podcast of JW Fusion. I am your co-host, J.H.Carpenter, and I'm here with the awesome, brilliant, and intuitive Wendy B.
Hey, y'all.
Who is right so much.
Yay.
I love your ensemble.
Thank you.
Looks marvelous.
It takes a village.
It takes a village.
Yes.
Okay, I'll take that. Hey, we got a great show this week.
We
have an amazing show this week.
We have one of our favorite people back.
Yes, she is a dear heart, and she knows about nutrition and food.
Yes.
Which I don't know how doctors do medicine. I hope I don't get in trouble for this. I don't know how they do medicine and they don't have to study food. Well, they don't have to study nutrition.
That's
only
not where
pharmaceuticals.
The money is. That's not
I know
where
that's where the
is.
money's in pharmaceuticals. Yeah. It's sad to say, and it's true. But anyway,
she has a plethora of information.
Yes, she does. Welcome
to share with
Nicole
us.
Fayta.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Well,
this is awesome.
I know. I love it. I could talk about nutrition all day long.
And I like talking about nutrition, except you can't go in our kitchen.
I'm not allowed in the kitchen.
No, we got some. I know some things in there you can't see.
Come in my kitchen anytime.
We got some no-nos.
we got some contraband in there that we don't want you to see.
We got some owies.
So nutrition. How did you get into nutrition? Because you said you're passionate about it.
Oh yeah, and it's funny because my kids are like at that age where they're kind of trying to decide what they want to do with their lives. I'm like, just wait, because I didn't become really passionate about it until I was in my mid-20s.
Yeah.
So I had my first child at 26, my daughter, and right after she was born, you have this angel in your arms, and you're just like, I want to make this child as healthy and perfect as possible.
Yes.
You don't want anything to hurt them.
Yes.
So I started reading, because I've always loved to read anyway, but I just started reading, like, what should I feed this child? What should I, how should I take care of this baby? Because how do you know how to take care of a baby? Nobody tells you,
They don't come with
They don't come with instructions.
They don't come
I wish they came with some instructions.
Exactly. So I started reading, and I learned what the word organic meant. I'm like, what does that mean? And I'm like, whoa, I just, all this whole world just opened up to me, and I became like obsessed with feeding my child perfectly.
Yeah, because that's a great foundation.
Yes.
It is.
Yes, the first 20 years, people always come up to me and say, oh, my grandmother lived to be 90, and and she eats nothing but hot dogs all day, and she's healthy. I'm like, okay.
The food was different.
Right, that's the thing. The food
was
was different.
prepared
In the
different.
first 20 years of your life, I remember I was talking to you about this before, that this is when your cells are dividing at a very rapid rate, especially in the first, 5 years, little children and babies. And that's when your immune system is being developed. And this will set the foundation for you for the rest of your life. So for the first 20 years, if you can eat as perfectly as possible, you will just have a better life in general, even if you kind of cheat sometimes when you're an adult, because we're all going to cheat probably.
Yeah.
But those first 20 years are like the foundation. So I wanted to make sure my daughter's going to be 20 in just a few months.
Wow.
So it's like,
so you started with her, so she has a great foundation.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? That's true, because I used to wonder. My oldest brother, he grew up in the South with my grandmother, because my mother was here in Chicago. And so they came here to work, I guess, and my oldest brother lived in the South. He ate differently than my younger brother and I did. And he grew up, he was so much stronger than we were.
He ate more natural, I'm sure.
He did,
because they had the gardens and they grew the vegetables
and my grandparents did have a garden.
Yeah.
And they ate the food from the ground before, and they even had their own chickens and turkeys.
And that's different too, though.
It is different. And he ate that way, and Billy's 81 now.
I was about to say, he's 81.
My brother's 81.
And he's still working.
Wow.
He's still working.
Yeah.
He has he's got about 2,000 hours of vacation time because he never misses work. And this is his second career because before he retired here as he was a sales manager over 2 counties, Cook County and Will County. He retired, left Chicago, moved to Gulfport. He tried sitting down. He said, I can't do this. He went back to work as a sheriff in Gulfport, Mississippi. He works at the jail. And that's why I said, man, they gave you a gun? He said, yep.
He's a strong, youthful, vibrant
he
81.
Is. He really
you wouldn't
is.
know he's 81 unless he told you.
You would think my brother's my age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so he ate differently. And as did I, because I grew up down there for a certain time. Then I came to Chicago.
Yeah.
But I grew up in a different era than right now. Everything is so different now.
Yeah.
But I always like to play devil's advocate because you know you've heard it. Well, times were slower. The demands on our lives and our
Less stress.
It was less stress.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's true.
we could garden. Well, right now I'm busy. I work.
Right.
I'm trying to do all this. I got these kids. Sometimes I need to stop through a McDonald's and. You know, sometimes we have, and the McDonald's do not call me. It's just an example. But, you know, I just had to stop through the drive-through. So what do you say to people? Because, like, for me, I was the same way. I was introduced to vegan before having children. I didn't grasp it. The Lord is still working with me on that. But I understood how food made you feel.
Right.
And so in my 20s, I gave up pork and beef. But then when I had my daughter, I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Even pregnant, I'm like, wait, I got to make sure I eat certain things. And I looked up nursing. You know, nursing gets pressed sometimes and it's bad another time, but then it's good. It kind of has its roller coaster. But I was like, I'm going to breastfeed, like at the first 6 months.
Yeah.
And people were like, you need to put cereal in it. No, she's going to be strictly breastfed. And all 3 of my kids were breastfed for 6 months strictly.
Yeah.
And then we slowly introduced things. But even with Christian, because he's disabled, you know, I really, like, he's vegan.
Okay.
Like, he's vegan. And people are like, you need to give him milk. No, he won't get any milk.
You can't give him milk.
He can't. Well, he's allergic
Well, yeah.
to dairy,
Yeah.
and it's
Milk is
not
very
it's not a
inflammatory.
pretty sight
Yeah.
when it happens. So,
Yeah.
and I see how healthy he is because
Yeah,
it's been
he's very
years
healthy. Yeah.
since he's been hospitalized or
Yeah.
sick.
That's good.
But
I
what
mean,
do you
he's-
say to those people?
He's so vegan. If you give him leather shoes, he throws them at you. I'm just kidding.
Well, you know what? For me, like, because I'm so kind of obsessive about my diet, my children's diet, my children have never stepped foot into a fast food restaurant.
But have they
Wow.
wanted to? Like their friends, my friends, or
No.
go on a play date or something, and the parents
just-
like, I can't feed the child. What? You have this
I would
list.
always provide food for them. Like if we went to a birthday party, I would bring
Yeah.
my child a little dessert for them that they could have because the stuff from
Wow.
the store is
Did they
just-
feel ostracized because of that?
I think sometimes they probably would look at that, but one time, I was a quick story. My daughter was about 5 or 6 years old. We went to a birthday party, and we had forgotten to bring something. And my husband was like, "Oh, just let her have a little piece." So I said, "Okay." She got so violently ill that night. She was begging us to take her to the doctor.
Wow.
The stomach cramps that she was experiencing were so bad. I had to call my cousin and say, "You have to come and watch my son. I have to take her to the emergency room."
Now,
She
how old
was
is she at
screaming.
this time?
She was at like 5 or 6.
Oh, wow.
So I'm
Okay.
like, it was that cake.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
you don't ever want to eat cake again, right? She's like, no.
How is she now that she's 20?
Yeah, she still
She's like,
does.
"I'm
She tells
good."
her friends, you shouldn't be eating that.
Wow.
She's like the mom of the group
Yeah.
because all of her
Really?
friends are like, my son's age 16 and
Yeah,
she's 19.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, their friends eating like a donut. He's like, you shouldn't be eating that. You need to have some
Wow.
fruit. So she's always like mothering them like she sounds like me.
But that's cool at
Yeah.
that age because she will have an effect on someone.
Right.
And that will help them in the long run.
Right. I'm like,
you
you're going
know?
to feed your kids the way I fed you, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, they've just been that way their whole life. I mean, my
Yeah.
son is even more strict with his diet. He doesn't
Wow.
eat meat at all. Like, he doesn't like it. He just thinks it's disgusting.
Yeah.
He never ate it. He'll eat eggs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't like meat at all. So,
Yeah.
but he's kind of like the type of kid, like he only eats vegetables and fruits and nuts and seeds. Like he's like really healthy, really likes the bitter greens and
awesome.
the broccoli
Wow.
and stuff like that. But the key is to never, ever give your child junk food. not even once.
Yeah.
Because once they taste it,
Ooh, that
it's
sugar
like,
take hold.
I'm telling
Oh
you,
my gosh.
it's a drug. It's like
It
trying
is.
heroin for the first time.
It is.
You get addicted immediately.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh, I want that again.
Yeah.
And so then they'll scream and cry for it again. The next time, oh, eat your broccoli. No, I want
And
the
they
junk
can't
food.
help it because
Yeah.
it's taking
And
hold.
then you have to deal with the temper tantrums.
Yeah.
I don't deal with I don't do temper tantrums.
It's funny
like, you're
because-
gonna eat this or
Tells you
you're going to eat
something.
nothing.
Yeah.
That's how it is in my
But
house.
that tells you something.
But
I was-
remember when I had to give up sugar? What was that, 3-4
Oh
years
my
ago?
gosh, yeah.
That's
I
hard.
was in the bed,
Oh my gosh.
ill. Like, am I dying?
I
like,
had to. I learned to
it
make.
was scary.
I learned to make a dessert. I can't remember how I made it
It
now.
was so good too.
I made a dessert with no sugar. I can't remember how I made
Maybe
it.
with fruit or
I
dates or
googled
something?
it. I googled it. No, it was. I can't. It was non-dairy.
Yeah.
It was, but it,
It was so
tasty.
good, yeah.
It was something I googled.
Yeah.
I went out, bought the stuff, mixed it up. She said, "Ooh, this is good."
Yeah.
And it helped her get over the hump.
Yeah.
Because
You
it was
know.
hard. I was
It does.
literally sick in
it's
the
like
bed.
it's a drug
I was
addiction.
detoxing. Yeah, I was coming down from
absolutely.
my sugar.
So if you never give it to them, they never. You think my kids have ever asked me for a French fry?
Yeah.
Not once. I don't think they've ever had French fries. Like we just don't eat that food. Like it's just not part of our life.
Right.
So they've never said, I want to go to McDonald's. Well, they've never been there, so they
Yeah.
they never had a chance to. I mean, think
That's
about kids who
cool.
are starving to death in like
Yeah.
other countries. They eat like grubs and worms. Like you
Yeah.
think they're asking to go to McDonald's?
Right.
Yeah.
There is no
They're
McDonald's.
happy to
Yeah.
eat,
Right.
period.
So there is no McDonald's in my life. Like that restaurant just doesn't exist to me.
And
Like,
it's
to
funny
us,
because
That's
with
unusual.
Matthew,
it is, yeah.
That's
People
Matthew
think I'm
is
kind of nuts.
Matthew's 18, and I became a vegetarian when he was old enough to realize, wait, Mom, is that going to be me too? And I said,
Yeah.
well, no one made me choose the diet that I'm choosing.
Right.
And because I raised him,
Yeah.
I didn't eat I would feed him chicken or whatever, and
Yeah.
I didn't eat it. I said, you have to make your own decision.
Right.
So now he's in college. He's like, Mom, I've been vegetarian. I'm like, wait, what?
What?
Wow.
I didn't tell you?
No.
He's like, I haven't been eating meat. I'm like, what the? Okay, Lord.
He and I were raging carnivores.
They were.
Wow.
We got a huge grill on the back porch on the patio, and we would grill steaks and
And ribs. It was
big burgers.
Yeah.
And we just be, man, this is so good.
Yeah.
You
Like
know?
he won't refuse it. Like he's not being strict with it, but he went through the first few weeks. He's like, I still haven't had any meat. I'm like, wow.
But
And it also depends on how the animal is raised. Like if you eat a grass-fed beef or grass-fed cow or pasture-raised chickens, once in a while, it's probably not going to kill you, and it's a lot better because they feed those cows, corn. And what does corn do to us? It makes us fat and sick.
Yeah.
So you're eating a fat, sick, unhealthy cow.
And see, people don't realize that because like
Yeah.
at
And they don't.
barbecues, they have the corn on the cob.
yeah.
Right.
And they're
Yeah.
like, when do you want it? I don't want any corn.
No,
I don't eat
we don't
corn.
even eat corn.
Yeah.
We had,
Yeah.
what was that? It was
I was mad.
A dish we had.
Yeah, and it had corn
I
in
said,
it.
babe, this got corn. We said, ooh.
Yeah.
Well, we got to eat it because
We
this
gotta-
is dinner.
Yeah.
But we don't buy it.
Right.
We don't. We
Yeah.
Yeah,
stopped
I don't-
eating it.
I don't
I love corn. I mean, corn. I could
addictive.
eat some corn. But when Wendy did the sugar thing, I did it as well.
Yeah.
I didn't stay on it because I lost so much weight. My clothes didn't fit.
And Nicole,
That
I didn't.
happens.
I didn't. Mm-hmm. You know the man thing.
Well, that's how it works.
I lost so much
He's
weight.
like, I'm losing too
Not
much weight. I'm
fair.
like, oh,
Not good for you.
don't
Yeah,
right.
I did. I mean, I had a suit.
so sad, sweetie.
Wendy had got me a really nice suit, a Canali suit. We went to the tailor. He was altering it.
Oh yeah.
And so when I went there, we had just started biking. It was the biking
Yeah.
season, so we was riding our bikes, and I was going to the gym and so forth. So I go to pick it up. Now, no sugar. Maybe a month. I don't know if it was a whole month.
Yeah. You lost it fast.
I put the suit on, and I'm like, man, I said, come here. Come here. What's this? And the guy looks, he says, oh my goodness, what were they looking at? I said, I don't know, but you got to fix it.
Yeah.
He said, oh my goodness, yeah, we'll take care of it. Well,
Later.
they fixed it, and it was perfect then. But when I went back to eating like I was eating, I went to put that suit on. It was like,
It was
I
a little
was
snug.
like,
A little snug.
yeah.
So I wanted to explain to people because I think people they throw the word organic around a lot.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily mean the same thing to everyone. So will you explain to the audience what organic really means?
Sure. Well, I mean, there's organic, obviously, in chemistry. Anything that's carbon-based is organic. But then there's organic meaning this food was grown without the use of pesticides, herbicides, fungicides. It's non-genetically modified. That's basically what that means. And the thing is pesticides started getting used widely in this country in the 40s. And I do a lot of research on statistics for cancer. And I mean, a lot. It's ridiculous. It's a little obsessive. I love statistics. I just love statistics. And so, like, if you look at from the 40s, 50s, 60s, up until around 2016, the incidence of cancer, especially in children and young people under 39 or so, skyrockets.
Wow.
It's actually very disturbing. And obviously, correlation doesn't necessarily mean causation, but because we've got a lot of other issues going on just, from a different standpoint, not necessarily including pesticides. But I mean, look at all the commercials right now, for the Roundup. If you've been exposed to Roundup and you have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, I mean, we know that it's a carcinogen.
Yeah.
There's no question. The people who, like farmers who regularly spray their crops, they have a much higher risk of lymphoma.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. I mean, people just know that. I don't know, maybe a lot of people don't know that.
Right.
But because I research it so much, I mean, I'm well aware. And so it's becoming more and more common. So it's really important. And the thing about organic is a lot of people say, oh, there's no difference between non-organic and organic, let's say produce. Well, the thing about organic, when you spray a crop, obviously you're trying to get rid of the pests and the little bugs and stuff like that. Well, when you spray a crop, it takes the stress off of the crop. So the crop says, oh, I don't need to produce those antioxidants we all know about. But organic produce has to create its own because it needs to survive. That's its whole goal, is to survive, this plant. So he says, oh, I better create all these antioxidants. Well, antioxidants are like natural pesticides. And we all know that antioxidants are really good for us.
Yeah. That's the reason we eat it.
Right. So organic not only doesn't have the toxic pesticides that are carcinogenic, but it also has a higher amount of antioxidants than organic food. And like the pesticides are also, like, sometimes they're like, oh, you can just wash it off. Well, not necessarily, because it's in the soil.
Yeah.
And the soil is where
it's a part of the
fruits and vegetables get their nutrients from. So if you have depleted soil, the fruits and vegetables aren't going to have as much nutrients.
You're eating dead food.
Exactly. It won't have enough minerals, especially like selenium. Yeah. Like they did studies on garlic. Organic garlic has a lot more selenium than non-organic garlic. Wow. So, it's really
I didn't realize there was such a big difference in the nutrition of
and it makes perfect sense.
It does.
If you sit and thought about it, if you were like really into it, it would make sense, because the purpose behind eating beta carotene, vegetables and fruits with beta carotene, is for the antioxidants.
Right.
And if we know that pesticides stop that, the plants won't have it.
Right.
So you're just eating a really pretty carrot.
Yeah.
With nothing in it. You're not getting any antioxidants. It's a double whammy.
You've got toxic pesticides.
Yeah.
Plus less antioxidants. I mean,
to fight the effects of the the pesticides.
Which is why the cancer rate is so high.
Yeah. I mean, certain, like selenium, for example, is an extremely important mineral in order to lower your risk of cancer. It actually has a direct effect on your cancer risk in your body. I mean, just selenium alone, not to mention hundreds of different things. So now what
fruits or vegetables have selenium in them?
Brazil nuts are actually very high in selenium. And a lot of meats are. So it's like, that's the thing about going vegan is it's fine to go vegan. It's just you have to really plan your diet correctly. Like when you stop eating meat, you start to miss out on things like zinc, selenium, B12. So you have to make sure that you eat, because there are only certain foods. Not a lot of foods have selenium and zinc. Pumpkin seeds. Boy, now I can't even think. When I'm put on the spot, I can't think. But I mean, sometimes like I'll put like zinc and selenium in my kids' food because, we don't eat a lot of meat.
Like as a supplement.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I don't necessarily like taking a lot of supplements, but, like I said, if you eat a super strict diet, you're going to have to start putting something in there.
Yeah, because you're missing something.
Exactly. So
I want to talk about protein, because that's the huge thing. Like, where you get your protein? You need
people
protein.
Are obsessed with protein.
Yeah, but it's it's over obsessive, isn't it?
Absolutely over obsessive. I did a whole video on this, on why are we so obsessed with protein.
Oh, mention
wait, we got to talk about what video?
Yeah.
What
Talk about your
video?
Okay, yeah. I have a kind of a silly name for my website. It's called Semi-Veg because I'm semi-vegan.
Okay.
Because I eat mostly, like 90% of my diet is vegan, but I will take cod liver oil.
Okay.
I do eat fish occasionally and eggs occasionally, but that's pretty much it.
Okay.
So it's like
Wow.
I can't call myself a vegan because I still take those little and I'll eat
Yeah.
honey. Some people, vegans don't even eat
Yeah,
honey.
yeah.
So I don't want to call myself a vegan fully because that would be lying.
They will come after you.
So I'm a semi-vegan.
That's
which
cool.
is stupid, but
No, it's cool.
But that's
I
what's
like
called
that.
semi-veg.
That's
It's
like
two
a
words.
no-no.
Yeah.
And it catches your attention. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah,
Semi-veg.
exactly. Yeah.
So that's your website. And
That's my
YouTube channel.
Your YouTube
My
channel.
website
Semi-veg.
is nicolesnaturals.blog.
Okay,
So,
say that
yeah.
one more time.
nicolesnaturals.blog. And so I have a blog, and then
And it's
I
Nicole with the C, people.
yeah, not with an H. There's no H. In there.
Or a K. I've seen it with a K,
Nicole. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you did the video on protein. You were
Yeah, so
saying.
the protein, it's funny because this is kind of a new thing. Nobody ever said, where do you get your protein before?
Yeah.
It's a marketing ploy,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Because, a lot of people want to bulk up.
Mm-hmm.
These bodybuilders want to take a bunch of protein powders. And why do you need a protein powder? I mean, if you're not vegan, there is zero chance
Right,
that
if
you're
you're a
gonna
meat
become
eater, you're fine.
Unless you're an anorexic.
Yeah.
The only people who are really at risk are bulimics, anorexics, and probably people with cancer,
Okay.
like end-stage cancer, because their body has cachexia, which means it's you're wasting away.
Wow.
You're eating.
Okay.
Your body's eating itself.
Okay.
And, that's terminal.
Cachexia.
Cachexia.
Wow.
Yeah. So you're terminal usually, and those people obviously are going to be
Yeah.
really low in protein. So if you eat a normal diet, even a vegan, if you eat things like seeds, nuts, tofu, those are all, and even kale, quinoa, those are all fairly high in protein.
Yeah.
You just have to kind of plan it out. And I like to go on a website called Chronometer. I'm not sure which
Isn't
which
that
it
an
is.
app?
Maybe, I don't
Okay.
know, but I'm kind of not tech savvy on my
Okay.
phone. I set up my computer more, but I think it is an app, and you can put in what foods you ate and how much, and how many
Yeah.
ounces or grams or cups or whatever, and it'll give you a breakdown of the macronutrients and the micronutrients and the omega-3s and every single amino acid, and you can kind of see, like, that's what I always tell people, like, do this for 3 days. Write down everything you eat. Don't go on any special diet. Just write down everything you eat and see where you're at. See if you're, not getting, enough zinc or enough vitamin C or whatever, and then you can kind of like tweak it.
Yeah.
It's a really good way of kind of seeing in front of you, how well you're doing as far as your nutrition. Chronometer.
Chronometer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's an app, if I'm
Yeah,
not
it
mistaken. 'cause
is.
It's on my phone. I haven't used it, but
Yeah.
it's on my
You have
phone.
it already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
I saw it on somebody's video.
So Nicole, have you written a book?
No, but I want to.
And
I've been homeschooling my kids for years, and I really wanted to write a nutrition book for homeschoolers. And I started doing it, and I never finished it. But
So there's a little portion of it that's been started, is
there
what you're
is.
saying.
There's quite a big portion. But then I thought, you know what? There's so many nutrition books out there. I just feel like it's going to get lost in the mix, because
Not necessarily, though.
Yeah,
Because you're
'cause
coming from a different standpoint.
that's what I mean. It would be curriculum. It
Yeah.
wouldn't be
Yeah.
just some book that people go to.
Yeah.
It would be
Well-
like for children, for like teenagers to learn how to
Yeah.
eat right. Because I think a lot of parents just throw food at them and they don't think about what they're eating. We don't learn enough about our bodies. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the only place we have to live.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you don't take care of this thing that's going to
can't-
only last a few
Wait a
years, like
minute.
you better take care of it. You can always
You
replace
can't change
your
the
car.
address.
you can't.
I don't like this one. Let me get a new one.
Right.
You can't cancel your lease.
No, you can't.
Exactly.
It's yours.
You can't trade
Yeah.
that thing in.
No,
so
you
you have
can't.
to take
You're
this
right.
is your
You're right.
temple.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
have God gave you one body. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
If
You're
you
right.
mess this up, you don't get a second chance.
Right.
So, and it's not, I hear this all the time. People always say, well, you got to die of something. Okay.
Oh, gosh.
That's fine and dandy, but do
Yeah.
you realize how miserable you are
Yeah.
when you're dying slowly of
Yeah.
cancer?
I was
It's not
about to
just,
say-
you're not going
yeah.
to go like that.
Yeah.
You're
I
going
was-
to be miserable.
I was about to say, you got to die of something, but I think how you die.
Right. It's your quality of
It's your
life we're
quality
dying.
of
How you're
life.
living before you die.
Because
And
there's
you'll-
chronic diseases that people
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
That they live for 40 years with these chronic diseases.
Yeah.
Do you want to go through that for 30,
no.
40 years? No.
Yeah.
But the marketing machine is so
Yes.
strong.
Yes, it is.
Milk does the body good.
Yeah,
My
exactly.
son, Matthew and I had so many arguments.
About milk.
Mom, milk is good. It's okay. If it's so good, why are we the highest in the nation almost with osteoporosis?
Exactly.
Why is that?
Exactly.
But the machine is so strong. The other white meat. I mean, you can think of other things that tempt you.
Right.
They make the burger look so good on the commercial, you know.
I know. And weight-bearing exercises, especially for women because we're more at risk for osteoporosis, is so important for bone health.
Yeah.
People don't realize that just lifting weights or any sort of weight-bearing exercise is much more important than drinking milk. I mean, milk is kind of...
That's a fact.
It's mucus.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a fact.
It's mucus.
It's mucus producing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, one of the first things they tell you is when you get up in age, working with weights,
Yes.
you don't have to go too extreme.
No, just a little bit.
You don't
you don't have to be a
work out
bodybuilder.
like
you don't
5
have to be a
pounds. I don't do
bodybuilder.
any more than 3 to 5 pounds.
But it's the stress of the muscles and the bones moving the
Exactly.
weight that the bones say, wow, I need to create some more of myself
Yeah.
That's
to
how it
deal
works.
with what's happening here.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't have to be a lot. It could just be a small amount.
Right.
Just do it. I try to do a little something.
Yeah.
You know, I used to go too far and then get an injury
Right.
Yeah.
or pull something, hurt something. And I realized, wait a minute, you're not 25 no more.
Yeah.
You're not 35, 45, or 55 anymore. So you need to quit trying to, you're not that guy anymore.
Right.
You don't need to do that.
And you didn't get enjoyment from it. Some people get enjoyment from being in the gym and working
Yeah,
their
I
bodies
mean,
like
if
that.
that's your
you
thing,
didn't get enjoyment from it.
I
And
didn't.
that made, and because I told you, I'm like, you don't have to do this.
Well, it's it's good for you.
Yeah.
To a point. But my
But
problem,
you don't have to, you were going hard.
I had to erase that old mindset.
Right.
Of, you go to the gym, you got to go. You got to go to the.
Look at that voice
You
change.
you got to go to the area.
Just do
and pump
something,
that iron.
you know?
With the
people
the
think they have to go
testosterone
hard.
area.
Yeah,
call
the
it.
testosterone
Oh my
area.
gosh.
Right. People think they have to just like go crazy and get super buff. That's not important.
It's
I mean,
not.
if that's what you want to do, that's fine.
That's different.
But, you know, those guys who are just like rippled, and I'm like, that's actually not good for you. That's too much. Like, I don't think God intended for us to look like that. I mean, because they're taking supplements. They're not eating a natural diet. You can't look like that unless you're doing something that's kind of unnatural.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Well, nowadays, I knew guys that were like that.
Yeah.
Never lifted a weight in their life.
Yeah.
I used to work with some guys. I used to work in a factory, and these guys, they were older than me, but a lot of guys from the South and they just have that natural athletic body.
Yeah.
Never lifted a weight,
Yeah.
but they're not.
But they're active.
They don't look artificial.
Right.
You could they're ripped, very low body fat,
Yeah.
very strong, but they don't lift weights. It's just natural.
Right.
And they're active. They may do push-ups and body weight
Right.
exercises.
Right.
And those
Body
are-
weight is the best. That's the best
That's
exercise.
another group that are extremely well conditioned athletes, guys who do body weight. That's why the military does
Body weight is
Yeah.
important.
exercises.
It's the
Yeah.
way your body naturally moves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lifting a weight is not necessarily natural,
Right,
but a body
exactly.
weight is doing.
Yeah. That's how my husband,
Much
and
better
he
for your
doesn't like to
body.
like just do a workout. He'll go mow the lawn and he'll go.
Yeah.
He is so active. He's 50. He just turned 54 a couple days ago.
Happy
And
birthday, hubby.
Yeah, and he's just so active. Like my kids are like, God, he's just such a hard worker. Like, because we're all lazy, you know, and he's just out there like working his butt off. Like,
But then
crazy.
being outside working out is a whole different. It takes
Right.
it to another
It's
level.
very different.
And he's got diabetes. I can tell you all about when he was 40. He got diagnosed with diabetes, and this was kind of when I was in the middle of my learning all about health and stuff like that. And he really freaked out. And this was more of an it wasn't type 2 because he's not overweight.
I was about to say, is it type 2?
Have you ever
Wait,
heard
is
of-
type 2, does that mean it's because you're overweight?
Usually,
Okay.
but not always. But like there's type 1 that's
Yeah,
usually
when you're
children.
born.
But that's type 1 is autoimmune.
Okay.
Type 2 is insulin resistance, meaning you probably ate a diet that's kind of crappy. But then there's something called, have you ever heard of 1.5? It's either 1.5 or type 3. There's two different names for it. Type 1.5 is late adult onset of basically type 1. It's like an
Wow.
autoimmune disease.
That was kind of dormant or something?
I don't know if it was dormant. I mean, I've got some theories on that that are controversial. I don't know if I want to bring
Okay.
up, but it's more of an autoimmune. It's not the insulin resistance because at first his doctors thought it was type 2, but they did some more testing and they're like, this isn't he wasn't overweight.
Yeah.
He actually was losing weight. So it's like, oh, this is autoimmune.
Okay.
So listen, Nicole, hold your thought.
Commercial.
Sure. Hold your thought.
Great.
Autoimmune. That's what we're leaving off.
All right.
We'll be right
This
back.
is JW Fusion with our special guest, Nicole Fayta, the nutritional expert. And we'll be right back after this message.
This book is the story of Jameson Harold Donovan, who lives in the city of Sussex Falls. Feeling trapped in his dysfunctional marriage to his wife and a stranger to his own children, thoughts of suicide dominate his waking hours. Jameson discovers he was selected before birth by the Almighty to receive quasi-angelic abilities. Between the ticks of the clock. You're listening to JW Fusion with your hosts, James and Wendy B.
And we're back with our very special guest, the lovely and brilliant. We'll put you in Wendy's category
Okay, come on, girl.
because you
Come
are
on
a
in.
wealth of information.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Needed information.
And she's so nice.
Aw.
Yeah.
She really, and her son is
He's wonderful.
that guy.
He's wonderful.
He is such a. You don't meet many guys that you say that is such a nice kid.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
you just want to give him stuff.
Yeah. I
He
just
has
want to
the-
hug him every time I see
Yeah,
him. I
you
just
just-
haven't done it. He's like, why she hug me every time?
He's
my
such a
sweet boy.
he's such an awesome. He's an awesome young man. I really love him. He's
yeah. Hey, Johnny.
I'll tell him you said that.
Yeah.
He'll be excited to hear that.
He's awesome.
So we're
you
talking
were
about
saying
autoimmune.
Yeah.
That's where we left off.
So he got diagnosed when he was 40. So it's been like 14 years. And he was really scared, at first because he thought, oh my,
It's a scary thought.
I mean, that's
Diabetes is serious.
It is. It is serious. And I mean, his blood sugar was in the 300s when he first got diagnosed.
Now,
And
what should it be in?
It should be in the 70s or 80s.
Wow.
That's normal.
Okay.
So, and his doctor wanted him to go on a bunch of different drugs, and I'm kind of anti-drug.
I'm so
So I'm
anti-drug.
like, no, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Because I know everything. No, I'm kidding. No, so I put him on.
I'm going to study and
Yeah.
find out what you need.
Well, I mean, at
least.
this point, I was pretty knowledgeable at that point, so I made him go on some detoxes. We would juice like crazy. And
Juicing is good.
Juicing, yeah, lots of juicing. He goes, I felt so good when I was juicing. So, and what really, really helps his blood sugar go down to normal is exercise. I mean, really vigorous exercise. So he'll go run, like really, One time his blood sugar was like in the 200s. I'm like, okay, go run around the block 3 times.
Yeah.
He did it. He came back. It had dropped 100 points.
Wow.
Or something like that. Yeah.
That was a significant change.
Vigorous
so.
exercise
Yeah.
is really important for diabetics.
It's
Okay.
that the body takes that glycogen
Yeah.
and turns it into puts it through what's called the adenosine triphosphate shunt.
Lord, wait,
And what
wait,
it does
wait,
is
wait,
it
wait.
takes it
What
and-
did you just say?
The ATP, right?
ATPs, yeah.
Why did he just say that?
It takes sugar and converts it to energy, basically.
Thank you, because we all just got lost.
Well, it's a process. And
We
it's-
all
it's
just
a
grabbed our
shunt.
dictionaries.
It's
Like,
a,
what did
it's
he
a
say?
shunt, and
Okay.
and it takes that sugar, that excess, and burns it basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't think of that. They think of
Fat.
getting a shot. They think
Okay.
of drinking something, eating something. They don't think to do that
Yeah.
because I'm not diabetic, but my sister was,
Mm-hmm.
and it eventually took her out of here because she wouldn't control her diet.
Yeah.
She just ate whatever.
Yeah.
And she was rebellious about it. I guess she didn't care. But I do know that you have to be very, very watchful.
Yeah.
You have to watch yourself. I worked with a guy who you're not supposed to drink alcohol
Yeah.
to excess or even at all if possible. He would drink on Friday nights, and he would have I don't know what happens. He would just kind of go insane.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, he would lose it. He'd be walking around, eyes red, wanting to swing at people. And we said, what's wrong with him? His sugar had got out of whack from that drinking.
But
Because
yet he did it the
alcohol
next
has a lot
Friday.
of sugar in it.
But he did it the next Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No comment.
Yeah, so whenever we're on vacation and he's not stressed out at work and we're walking around, like we've been to Disney World like a bunch of times, and so we'll walk for like 12 hours a day, and he doesn't. I mean, because it took quite a few years because I wouldn't let him take anything.
Yeah.
Like we're going to control this with your diet, 100%. You're not taking anything, but eventually it starts to, your body just starts to wear down because he doesn't eat perfectly. He doesn't eat exactly the way I want him to. I can't control him. He's not a baby. You know what I mean? I can control my kid's diet, but I can't control him when he's at work. So he'll cheat. And not a lot. He still eats healthy because I make healthy dinners and stuff. Right.
Sure.
But, sometimes he doesn't eat exactly the way he should. So he did eventually have to go on insulin. But when we're on vacation, he doesn't barely need any.
Because you're walking so much.
Because he's walking around.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, you see? I'm like, you need to become like a construction worker, because then that'll be like your job.
He'll be fine.
He won't ever need it again.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting how that works. Just simple things like that.
So would that apply to the average person, or is it unique to his physiology?
I think it brings your blood sugar down in general for diabetics.
Okay.
So I always talk to your doctor about that.
Yeah.
But for us at least, that's it. Whoever I've had contact with who's been diabetic, they always say the same thing. And
exercise helps so many things.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
diagnosed with high cholesterol many, many years ago, and they gave me a prescription. I said, well, so I'm not going to take this. I'm going to figure out what I'm supposed to be eating, what I'm not supposed to be eating, and I'm going to exercise.
Yeah.
And I've never had to take medicine.
Yeah, that's good.
Exercise helps. So, and you
yeah.
said, it doesn't have to be, 4 hours in the gym every day.
Right.
It's just intentional something.
And it lowers your risk of cancer, some cancers by 40 to 50%.
And I don't like to feel like I'm working out.
Right.
Like, I'll go.
You got to find something you enjoy.
When you do this workout, I'm just shut down.
Yeah.
But cycling is what we do.
Right.
I do enjoy running. I love walking. I can walk all day.
Yeah.
There's something else. What else? I like to swim. I don't swim. I'm not a swimmer.
But you swim.
I can get from
in the pool.
yeah.
But you swam in the ocean. I saw you.
Yeah. I almost died in the ocean.
But you did it.
But I love swimming. Swimming is very peaceful.
Yeah.
So it has the emotional and psychological benefits as well.
So you can go your woosah.
I can do my woosah. And nobody's stopping to talk to you. Like, oh, hey, mess up
right.
your workout. I'm
Yeah,
swimming.
they can't talk to you while you're swimming.
I can't see you. Right.
Yeah.
I'm swimming.
I discovered ballet about 10 years ago. And oh my gosh.
That's a great
I
workout.
fell in love. I was working muscles I didn't know I had.
Yeah.
Like really, because those ballet dancers
Their
are
bodies
insane. They work
wow.
these little tiny muscles that you didn't know you even had in
Yeah.
your
Wow.
body.
Wow.
Crazy. And I really love it. And
So you still do it?
yeah, every day, almost every day I do ballet. And I still go bike riding with my kids and
Yeah.
walks and stuff like that. And but yeah, I always come back to ballet
Yeah.
because I just like it. So I mean, it's not
And
for
that's
everyone.
cool, yeah.
Yeah, it's not for
You
everyone.
have to do what you like.
But that's the thing. You have to find something that you enjoy.
Now, did
or
you
won't
grow
do it.
up eating well or
No.
so was it a hard transition?
I have OCD. Like
Okay.
Actual OCD.
Oh.
Pretty severe.
Okay.
So that's why I'm actually able to be strict with my diet because
Wow.
of my OCD.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's almost like an anorexic who can eat
Yeah.
200 calories a day and
Yeah.
be strict with it because they're obsessive with
There's
it.
a compulsion.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a compulsion for me. So no, it wasn't hard for me because of that.
Yeah.
Because of my fear of getting sick or my fear of my children getting some sort of disease, I was obsessive. Like, you have to eat this and that's it.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
so it's a little mental illness with me, but that's just the way I am. So
So it works for you. So-
Well, you know what?
you
I'm going
know.
to tell you something. Sometimes there are things we're born with
Yeah.
and it serves us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because if you stop and you think, if I wasn't like this, what would I be eating?
Right.
Yeah.
How would I be eating?
Yeah.
And what would be the consequences of that?
Yeah.
What would be the consequences for your husband,
Yeah.
for your
exactly.
kids?
yeah.
If you want, for all you know, you were born with that trait in your genes to benefit you.
Probably.
Which benefits all of us because you're sharing the information.
That's
that
the
you-
thing.
Yeah,
Because
because-
some people have accused me of having orthorexia. Have you ever heard of that?
What is
that?
Orthorexia is kind of like it's a eating disorder, but you're obsessed with healthy food instead of,
Why did I put a bad
anything
name
else.
to
But
that?
that's the thing. I'm like, yeah, but if I ate unhealthy, if I ate a donut right now, I would get a stomach ache. I don't want a stomach ache. So, I mean, okay, if you want to call me orthorexic or whatever, that's fine. But I'd rather be orthorexic than
It's amazing. They come up with a
obese
word
or, you know,
for everything.
Everything, right?
I mean, some people do have a kind of an unhealthy obsession to where they end up eating unhealthy because they're so obsessed. Like, I can't eat anything. Like, it affects their social life. Like, I can't even go out with my friends because they're going to go to McDonald's and I can't go with them. It's like, well, you know, you can go, but they have salads at McDonald's. You know, just have a salad. You know, make a good decision if you have to.
Yeah.
But, you know, for me, I don't know. I just don't go there. That's just not.
So what do you do if you go out with a group of friends to a restaurant?
I don't typically go out. We don't go out like.
Okay.
I mean, like my family, if we go to a restaurant, you can look online. There are so many good restaurants now. A lot of them are in like Naperville, and like sometimes we'll go to Chipotle, which, you know, we'll get like just the burrito bowl, and it's, you know, it doesn't have any grains in it. We don't get the meat. We just get the rice, beans, lettuce, and guacamole and tomato, and that's it. So that's okay, you know. And then they have some other places with, you know, like up in Aurora, there's one called, can't remember the name of that restaurant, Roundhouse or something, and they have like grass-fed beef. You know, so there are restaurants around that you just have to kind of seek them out. Like there's a place called Freshie, which they make like quinoa bowls with kale, and it's getting better.
Okay.
People are getting more into health, and the restaurants are coming out with better choices for people.
There's a couple apps too that you can depend, because if
Happy
I go
Cow.
if I go
does
to a different
vegan.
city, I try and look
Right.
up the good restaurants.
Yeah, we can't go on vacation unless we have a list of
Yeah,
everywhere
you know
we're
where
gonna
you're gonna go.
Yeah, so it's more just planning.
Because see,
You know,
for you, it's not just well, okay, we're not going to have this because we're going on vacation. You have to have.
She
certain
has to
things,
have the good food.
or your vacation's ruined.
Right, we just won't. I mean, go.
You
That's
can't
the
eat.
thing.
You're on a fast.
Right, that's
You
the
know,
thing.
and then what's the point of that?
Fasting is another really good thing with that. We could talk an hour about just fasting. But yeah, so when we go on vacation, or like I remember you said at the very beginning, like, what do you do when you're out and about and, you know, there's only a McDonald's? Well, there's always going to be a grocery store somewhere you could run in and get a banana. You know what I mean? If you're really dying of hunger,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to pass out, go get a banana. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Or an apple or something like that. There's
An
always
organic
gonna be
apple.
some,
Right, an organic
There's always
apple.
going to
Yeah.
be something around.
Okay.
I mean,
So-
you have to tell you something. But I didn't know. My mindset has been, this organic thing, they probably pull them from the same place and just stick a different label on them, you know, to charge you, because they charge you a lot more money
Yeah,
for
like a marketing
organic.
thing, right?
Which is
But-
crazy because you're not using something that you have to pay for on this fruit.
The reason for that is because you can make mass amounts of non-organic foods. It takes more work to grow organically because you have to deal with those pests in a natural way.
Okay.
So you're not going to get as much production.
Okay.
So that's exactly why they got pesticide, started producing them, was
Okay.
because the population
Gotcha.
has been increasing
Yeah.
since the 40s.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's more people to feed.
Sure, Yeah.
sure.
So that's why. So it doesn't produce as much food.
Because the government subsidizes meat production, milk production.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's easier for them
I
to
mean,
crank out
I-
things like that.
I mean,
Exactly.
it's a business.
Right.
according to the stats I heard, there are more people on the earth right now than the number of people that have died ever.
Yes.
Oh,
Isn't that
wow.
crazy?
That is a crazy statistic.
It sure is.
There are more
Lot
people
of
on the
people.
planet right now
That's almost hard to believe.
than
Right. You can't
than-
even imagine that.
Think of all the people that have died.
Yeah.
That's what- I mean,
Just
oh
in-
my gosh!
Wow.
Yeah.
You think about just natural deaths in the wars. I mean, ever existed?
Right.
Wow.
Ever.
Yeah. There's more people on the planet right
Well,
now.
just in the 20th century, the population just
It just exploded.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah,
It did.
absolutely
It did.
exploded.
And I think that was the thing that Monsanto, they just capitalized on that because of the fear
Right.
of a food
Yeah.
shortage here in the West.
Yeah.
Because there's already a food shortage in parts of Africa and other parts of the world,
Right.
Yeah.
which has been the case. But here, they figure, hey, this is the Western world. We are civilized. I think everybody's civilized in their own way. And so they started doing the genetic modifications to the food and to the animals and all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
It's scary. Did you hear about avocados? They're trying to genetically modify them so that
Yeah.
they. And I'm like, come on.
So they stay fresher longer.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've genetically modified a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
They put DNA from a fish into a tomato.
Yes.
I mean, really crazy stuff. Like,
Yeah.
that doesn't belong there.
The farm-raised fish are taught to eat corn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not right.
That's not what
I
they
think what's
eat.
really important, because we're talking about like population and how, we need to feed all these people. I think we need to get back to kind of our roots and grow our own food as much as we can. I always have a big garden every year. I have a huge raspberry patch. I've got a pear tree. I grow lots of vegetables.
She got a whole pear tree.
It's not that big, but I do have it.
But still.
Yeah, I
wow.
know. I got like currants.
Was that on purpose, or did you happen to
on
move some?
purpose.
Okay,
yeah,
wow.
definitely. And I mean, if I had my way, I'd have nothing but fruit trees in my backyard. But
Wow.
it's hard to grow fruit trees,
Here.
like especially here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
because of
hard.
the weather is
Yeah.
inclement sometimes. But I always grow lots of beans and broccoli and kale and
Wow.
cucumbers, all sorts of stuff.
Homegrown kale is insane.
Yes.
I have never found anything in the store
Yeah.
that matches
Yeah.
growing it
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, we had when
so
I was
good.
growing up, my mother and my stepfather, they had a garden. It was about, I think maybe 50 yards, maybe 30 yards wide and maybe 100 yards long. And they grew maybe 75 yards, and they grew turnips, they grew kale, Swiss chard, pork salad, tomatoes, okra, all kinds of different vegetables.
and it tastes so good.
Yeah, and
It has
what she
flavor.
would,
It
and
tastes
she
so
knew how
good.
to can.
Yeah,
My mother
that's
knew
the
how
other
to
thing.
can.
It's
Do you
important.
can?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't. I'm scared of canning because I'm so scared of botulism.
Botulism, yeah.
But I have done it before. I don't do it every year.
What about jarring? Because you can jar some things.
Oh, like jelly
but the
or
top
whatever.
is
Yeah,
still
I remember my
tin.
husband made some pickles.
Mm-hmm.
You can pickle stuff, and I mean, I'd love to do that.
Well, my mother used to blanch everything, and then
Yeah, I freeze a lot of stuff. I
we had
freeze a lot of my raspberries.
We had a freezer almost as big as this table.
Yeah.
It was about to here
So
long,
for the listeners, what is that, babe?
about 6 feet.
6 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
This table's 8 feet, so it was about 6 feet
Okay.
and about 3 feet deep and about 4 feet high.
Wow.
3.5, 4 feet high. It would be stocked full of
Stocked.
steaks, shrimp, fish, and mostly vegetables. So we
Because the majority of your plate is supposed to be vegetables.
Right.
yeah.
And you're supposed to have a little bit.
Just
Well,
a little bit.
just
It's like,
a
it should be
little
a
bit.
condiment.
Yeah,
type
yeah.
of
But
animal.
Yeah.
the whole plate is
Yeah,
a steak.
I couldn't eat like an 8-ounce steak.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I couldn't deal with that.
Well, before I stopped eating meat, we went to Vegas and I
he
ate
got it in.
steak every day.
I went there
Burger.
for my anniversary. What do
Every
you call it?
day.
What do you go to after you get married? Your
Honeymoon.
honeymoon.
Yeah.
Honeymoon.
We went to Vegas for a honeymoon. Yeah.
Did you? I
Yeah.
ate steak every day.
He
We came
did.
home
Wow.
and I watched
What the health?
What the Hell.
Oh no. You're probably like, what did I do?
that was it.
funny.
Yeah.
See, that's a good show.
It'll
though.
change you. Yeah.
I watched the other ones that would just shock you into
Like-
not wanting it.
Yeah. Forks over knives.
Yeah,
All those ones. Yeah.
how the animal is raised, how
Oh.
it's living. Yeah, I saw those videos, so
Oh,
I
saw
have
the
no
bad footage.
desire.
Oh no.
And
to
see, I've
eat
seen
beef.
this.
Awful.
I've been to slaughterhouses. We
have?
do studies there. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, we were just laughing about it today. There was a place in the city, I won't name it, where they slaughtered hogs. And we had to read the water meters while we were collecting water samples. We won't talk about what the samples look like.
Oh, I could.
But I'm an environmental specialist, so we do water quality samples to see what they're putting into the system and what's coming to the plant for us to treat and then discharge to the rivers. So this particular place, to get to the water meter, they had hogs hanging from the ceiling. They're split down the middle.
Oh no.
And they still have the hair on them. So you come out, you have the hog hair sticking in your shirt, you picking them out. Because if you don't get them out, they'll stick you.
Oh yeah.
So I've seen that, Chiapetti's as well. We used to go there. So it's,
But even just the way they live in some instances.
Oh, it's
And-
terrible.
like the chickens are
They're
on top of each
tortured,
other, they're
yeah.
enclosed, they're pooping on each
Oh,
other
it's
and
awful.
Yeah.
eating it.
And then you're eating that.
Yeah.
You're eating
Yeah.
that
I
destruction.
hope nobody's
of-
eating dinner while they listen
no.
to
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
now, I'm going to tell you something that's interesting, and I know you'll bear this out. When an animal is stressed, there are stress hormones
Yeah, I was just
that are
about to say
going
that.
into
Yeah.
that meat.
Yes, and
And you're
that.
eating
And
it.
you're
those-
eating that.
You're eating that negative energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I really believe in energy, like
yeah,
positive and negative
definitely.
energy.
It's
Absolutely.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very true.
You're eating the horrors that they felt right before they died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I believe it transfers to you.
There
I
is
believe it.
there is a I believe a spiritual thing, and then
Yep.
there's a physiological thing that happens to that meat.
Yes.
Just like us.
Yes.
We're not designed to maintain extended periods of stress.
Right.
We're not designed to live in a fight or flight state because they're the adrenal gland.
Not the constant state.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But people live like that.
Yeah.
They live like that, and that's one of the reasons that there's a lot of sicknesses
Right.
and mental and physical sicknesses because of the endocrine system secreting these chemicals
Yes.
because it thinks we're under attack,
Right.
and we got to run, we got to fight, we got
Yeah.
to prepare, we
Yeah.
got to be strong, and this stuff is steadily going into your system, but you're not using it.
Right.
You're not using it, so it's going into your body, creating other things
Yep.
that are making you sick.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I always think
Absolutely.
about the cows. They give them something so that they're always producing milk.
hormones. Yeah.
They're not
Yeah.
supposed to keep producing
No.
milk just 24/7.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine
But
someone
they're hooked up
injecting
to
you
a
with
machine
something?
and
Yeah.
where they're constantly being
Yeah.
milked.
It's sad. It's
Yeah.
really it's
Man,
heartbreaking.
see, y'all get me because I like milk and donuts. I like milk and cookies.
You're getting sad over here, girl.
I
Poor
like
thing.
milk. I just-
So the purpose when you started, because we're always running out of time, when you started your YouTube channel and it's called again.
Semi-veg.
Okay.
Semi-veg.
When you started that and when you did your website and you do talk, so anyone who wants you to come for a talk, they
Yeah.
can find you on your website.
Yeah.
What's your goal?
Well, usually when I do a talk, I tell people like the 10 steps to health because people like to focus on like, well, what can I do right now? What pill can I take to make me healthy? It's
It
not
doesn't work
about a
that way.
pill.
We're
You're
in a
not. I
microwave
used to work at a
society.
health food store, and women would always come up to me and say, "I want to lose weight. What do I take?" I couldn't take it because I know I'm supposed to sell the products, but
Yeah.
I couldn't leave them with just a pill. I can't do
Yeah.
it. I'm like, you got to eat right. You got to exercise.
Yeah.
This pill is not going to do it for you.
Right.
Right.
So there's a bunch of different things you have to do. It's nutrition. And there's so many categories underneath nutrition, not just eat right. Like, what does that mean? What does that look like? You could talk about the meat. You could talk about organic. You could talk about, tons of stuff. There's clean water you have to drink. There's stress. There's, are you loving? Are you laughing every day?
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
sleeping right?
Yeah.
Now this could be another 3-hour show. Is products we use on our skin,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
to
yeah.
clean our homes.
to clean our homes.
Yeah.
They're breathing that
Yeah.
stuff. It's
Yeah.
fragrance.
Absolutely.
Like bleach. I mean, it's just
Bleach
it
is-
goes on
bleach
and
is
on
bad.
and on. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
all the carcinogens, and then I'm an herbalist as well, so I'm really passionate about herbal remedies. Like my kids have never taken a drug like their whole life.
You're
Never,
herbalist
not
too,
once.
babe.
We just do herbs because
Wow.
I make my own herbal tinctures and I make my own
Wow.
herbal remedies, and I love herbs. I think I grow them.
Yeah.
I love them. So, that's another kind of category. So, I mean, there's a bunch of things you have to think about when you're thinking about your health. You have to cover every little thing.
Yeah.
You can't just eat right. You have to eat right. You have to watch what you're putting on your body, what you're cleaning your home with. Your clothes. This
Yeah.
shirt right here is made of organic cotton. I mean,
Now explain that to me, because
Yeah,
I
I
see
have a video about that, too.
Y'all just go to the YouTube channel,
Go
like and
to the YouTube channel,
subscribe.
get an education.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay,
Because
so
this is-
cotton. Now, first of all, there's two categories here. There's cotton, a conventional cotton, and then there's synthetic fibers. Synthetic fibers are really bad for your skin. Now, this is going to be hard to believe, but they did a study on, I think it was a tribe in either South America or Africa. They went there, and all these people have ever worn on their skin is, animal skins or natural stuff like leaves, and they put like synthetic clothing on these people. Those people got violently ill from the clothes.
Really?
Absorption.
So think about
Yeah.
all the chemicals that are in clothing, just clothing. I mean, we're covered head to toe with our
Wow.
clothes.
Yeah.
Everyone in my family has organic pillows. We have all organic cotton sheets. We have organic mattresses because we spend a third of our lifetime in bed. So that's another category, is where we
Yeah.
sleep,
We got to
what
go
you
flip
sleep
the
on.
mattress.
Well, you know
look at
what?
this.
There's a new thing that we're starting studies on. It's called PTF. Have you heard of that?
I think
It's
so.
it's either PTF or PFT. I think it's PFT. It's the It's in our clothes. It's the substance they use, like for non-stick surfaces.
Right.
They use it in clothing to make the clothing less prone to wrinkling.
Yeah. Well, that's formaldehyde.
All right. Now.
Yeah.
Now,
Polyester.
now watch
dryer
this.
sheets have formaldehyde
watch
in them
this.
too.
Yep.
You know what the limit the limit exposure for your lifetime
For your whole life.
is 3 parts per trillion.
Really.
Do you know how small that is?
That's tiny.
It's in everything.
It's in everything. Yeah.
It's in everything, and we're gonna start monitoring for it from the water that we treat. We're gonna monitor the water coming into the POT, which is where we treat the wastewater,
Yeah.
and we purify it to 99% pure, and we release it to the rivers, and it becomes drinking water to the people downstate. So we're gonna be monitoring what we're discharging, because the U.S. EPA is going to start enforcing this, because they're finding that it's detrimental to our health, and it's things that's in our clothes. It's in everything we use.
Right. It's terrible. And
3 parts per trillion.
Yeah, that's
oh my
crazy.
gosh.
And even you think, cotton is
Cotton
good.
is cotton, yeah.
Conventional cotton is one of the highest sprayed crops in the world.
Wow.
I mean, so you're wearing cotton, you're wearing all those pesticides going right into your skin. People think your skin is just a barrier. Oh, it's very
No.
absorbent.
No, it's a sponge.
It's a
the
sponge.
largest-
It takes in
It's the
everything.
largest
So
organ in the
deodorant,
body.
your makeup, your lotion, everything.
So you're saying you can't, like if you wash clothes when you get them,
Yeah.
it's still in there?
Yeah, that's the problem. You can't
'Cause it's
wash
in the
away
soil,
the stuff. It's just
like you
it's
said.
so in there.
Yeah.
And like the cotton poly blend sheets, there's formaldehyde in there.
Mm-hmm.
So because they put that in there because for the wrinkling, like you
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
because nobody wants wrinkly sheets.
Yeah, I don't
Wow.
care.
I don't care.
That
I
is-
could care less about that. But
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, it's just there's so many facets to your health. It's not just I had some broccoli today, yay me. It's I mean you have to look at everything, and that's what I've done for the last
Yeah.
20 years.
Man.
Is research all of this stuff.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, a lot of people's lives will be improved because of your OCD.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I'm
I know.
serious. I'm
I
serious
know I
because-
appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you
Hopefully
something.
my kids will be healthier because
They
of it.
will.
It's,
They will.
babe, it's not publicized, but we've talked about a lot of innovators that could probably fall into the spectrum of autistic because they're so gifted and so
Right.
focused. But where would we be
Yeah.
Where would we
without their
be?
gifting?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
All right, the knowledge that you have, and the intellect and the ability to recall this data at will, because you have an emotional drive and you have a psychological commitment to it.
Yeah.
So you got passion and intellect working together. So you are hitting on all cylinders to maximize what you're doing. That's why I was wondering about you writing a book, because when you do talks, people need to be able to take this information home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if
We're
you
going to have to get on about
even
the
if
book.
you make it available online, okay, they can get it as a download for free. Or,
Well, yeah, like
donate to a cause that
Right.
You,
I
like,
mean,
But your
like
videos are very good.
Well,
I've
yeah,
seen
like
some
I
of your
try to do-
videos, and they're
yeah,
good.
Thanks. And I try to do like a category, every category I'll try to do a video about this. I'll think of something new. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
And I'll try to keep that kind of stuff on my website. And, I did a whole article or a blog post about the clothing, and then I'll link the video that I made about it,
Yeah.
at the bottom. So you can kind of watch me talk about it, or
Yeah.
you can read it,
Yeah.
But what's important, because I know somebody's like, I'm not doing all. She want me to change this. She want me to do that. Pick
But it's a
something and
little-
start
But you start.
somewhere.
You gotta start
Because
somewhere.
Yeah.
Baby
if you
steps.
have issues, you didn't
Run
get
out
there
of time.
overnight.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not going to get out of there overnight.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. If you've been eating this way for 20 years, like I ate that way, I ate terribly when I was growing up. My parents didn't know any better.
Yeah.
I ate junk. So I mean, Twinkies, Ho-Hos. That's what I ate.
Suzy
like,
Q's,
Chitlins.
Oh, really? I've never had chitlins.
chitlins, hog maws.
It only took biology for me to be like, oh, is that what it is?
Oh, you
Okay,
didn't know.
we're gonna give this up today.
A pound of bacon for breakfast.
So I didn't have that foundation.
Yeah.
My kids are lucky.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're lucky you got me.
Yeah,
'cause
we're
you
gonna
got a
tap
good
more
foundation
into it.
now.
Well, our
We've
time
run out
is
of time.
up. We out of here.
Aw.
Thanks for joining us on JW Fusion. I'm
Thank you,
James H.
Nicole.
Carpenter Barnes.
I am Wendy B.
And Nicole Fayta, the brilliant one.
Yeah.
Next Thursday, 6 o'clock p.m. Be sure to tune us in. God bless.
Hi, this is Wendy, and welcome to The Wendy Life. We are celebrating some unsung champions in our community, the disabled community. I have been a mom of disabled children for 21 years, and I look to bring light to this community. We are going to talk to you and celebrate therapists, teachers, doctors in this community. We're going to talk to the special needs community themselves, people who are rocking out this life despite their disability, showing us how to live our best lives no matter what life throws at us.
The Wendy Life. New episodes every second and fourth Friday on the Road to Eternity channel.
Thanks for listening to JW Fusion with your hosts, James and Wendy B.